85-86 NBA season. I like this season for two reasons. I feel like in this time machine, we're going to see a lot of Michael Jordan after this. And Michael Jordan, as we know from his legacy breakdown that's available in the archives, was injured for the majority of this season. So we're not going to see a lot of MJ. This is really the 1980s all-decade players are really running the show. If we look at what the all-NBA team is, just to get an idea of the types of players that are dominating this league. So this is really a 1980s all-decade team. Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, Isaiah Thomas, Dominique Wilkins, and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. At 38, he's come up a lot in conversations in the last couple weeks as LeBron gets really close to Kareem's record.
Yeah.
And they're both the same age.
LeBron's been averaging 40 for the last month.
Yeah. I heard Bill Simmons on his podcast recently say that, we've seen this before. Kareem literally did this. He played at an all-time level. I think he's like 23 points a game at 38 is good, but I think what LeBron James is doing is a little bit more work intensive.
And it's a young man's game at this point too. Like, it's so fast paced too. I mean, this was fast. Yeah. 86 was a decent pace though, right?
So that was the other thing. Comparing it to today's game, if we're doing that real quick, like, it is definitely a younger person's game, and the pace is definitely up. If we go to the miscellaneous stats, if I can find them, I'm just gonna have to scroll.
If you could just scroll, it's not that far down.
I always just go. There we go.
I know it's right
107, there. Or no, that's the defensive rating. Excuse me. 102.1 is the pace in 85-86, which is absolutely comparable to today. It's pretty close.
Yeah. I think today's a little... Isn't it faster?
If it is, it's by a hair.
Yeah.
I mean, I could get that
let's just check real quick. Just because I'm curious now.
It's fine. This is the table that I come to all the time.
Yeah.
So the pace is 99.3 so far in 2020. So it's actually faster.
Slower.
Yeah, it's actually fast. As I was saying, I meant it was faster in 85-86. Yeah. Excuse me.
Yeah.
But young man's game, similar. It's always really around the 26. We've talked about this before. The oldest it gets is 27.9.
It was it was the same for Kareem too. Pretty much.
So if we're looking at 85-86 here, we have that
26.8 versus what? 20. It was about 20.
Where's the pace? 102.1. So it's a little bit faster.
Yeah.
And a little bit older, but I think what LeBron's doing is more impressive. But this is really a 1980s like all-decade team. That's the whole reason I brought this up.
Yeah.
And
not to mention Kareem wouldn't even be there if Magic wasn't there, to be honest, and that's real life truth. Kareem would have probably retired like freaking 4 or 5 years before.
Magic is doing what Anthony Davis should be doing for LeBron.
Yeah, exactly. We've talked about what we thought that this was going to happen with Anthony Davis, and he completely failed us.
Failed your ass, not mine.
I don't care. I don't care about LeBron's career. Actually, like, I'd rather him do worse because I'm a Kobe fan. So yeah.
What do you call it? I also like this year in particular because there's just so much talent. Besides this first team, there's a lot of guys right in the meat of their prime or at the end of their prime. They're experienced. They're not like they're not.
It's like ill pause. Like, there's a bunch of guys right in the meat of their prime. All right, Russell,
I'm gonna steamroll right over it. Fucking the thick hog of their prime. And what do you call it? And I like this era because there's a lot of interesting teams. And I think putting the athletic Shaq and Kobe duo in this year, I think is interesting. So how many wins do you see the Lakers getting in this year?
I'm thinking and I know before I gave them a little less than 83.
Yeah.
But I really do feel like the Western Conference is much weaker at this point. Right. It's pretty much the Lakers, and then everybody else is like 50 wins or below. So I really think that The other Laker team probably gets anywhere between like 59 and 60 wins. I think they still fall second to the Showtime Lakers.
Okay.
And I think that they kind of split their series throughout the year.
We know this West is weak. That's been the thing on this West, and we can see it through the win totals. To play devil's advocate, though, one could argue it's more competitive. The worst team in the league, the worst team in the conference has 30 wins. I always like to flip it like that. Golden State Warriors with 30 wins being the worst team in the conference is kind of interesting. When people say it's not. I'm sure all these teams were closely matched, but they didn't have the talent to get them up and over in comparison to the Eastern Conference, which is still kind of top-heavy.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty similar. I mean, you got a little bit more 50-win teams, but yeah. I was also going to say, if you look at the West, so much more high-scoring, and it's because at that time, the East basketball versus West was literally, West was the, flashy, fast-paced, and East was a lot of, much more rugged basketball.
Where do you think the Lakers of 2001 fall in that discussion? Are they more of an Eastern team or are they more of a Western team?
Oh, they're 100% more of an Eastern team.
I know. I was thinking the same thing.
Gritty.
I think they have it in them. Especially this playoff team has it in them to fucking run up and down the court and do things in transition. Yeah. We did see that, but I agree. I think they're slow paced. They're rugged defensively, and they do their damage in the half court.
Best. Yeah, for sure.
I agree. For sure.
Because it becomes so scary with them because you got the automatic Shaq bucket, right? Because really, if you don't double team Shaq, and Kobe's was an assassin in the half court too. So it's you literally have, if you double in Shaq and Kobe, it just makes it so difficult in the half court, and it becomes more possession by possession, and every possession matters most. But you have an automatic bucket over there that and they're still playing really good defense. They usually but this Laker team was a top 10. Just fell out of the top 10. I think it was top 11 in the league at their time.
I was about to say that's the one team I forgot to.
But in the playoffs, that I think they were the best in the league, or one of the best in the actual playoffs versus the regular season. Yeah,
so as we've talked about throughout this entire time, and it is important to note, there's just no getting around it. It is two different teams. It's and I'll be explaining this until we're done with this hypothetical series. It is the regular season team that has a lot of turmoil, and then there's the playoff team that's arguably one of the greatest teams to ever play. There's a huge difference between the regular season and playoffs for this particular team. If we took the year before, I feel like this would be a different discussion. But, and I think Shaq has a chance to win MVP if we're taking last year's team.
100%. Yeah. If we went based off actual apex, the peak of the player, it would definitely be last year's team. But that's not how we can.
It is a point of a combo. It's a combo.
Yeah.
It has to be the peak of the player, which obviously 28 and 13, or 29 and 13, excuse me, with 3 blocks. It's pretty damn close to being great, even though this isn't his personal greatest. And then in the playoffs, 30 and 15. So it's close.
You guys have to remember,
and he's got a better team around him for that.
You guys have to remember, if we're bringing him into the time machine, we got to give him a chance.
Yeah.
A lot of the times you might find the player at their peak, but the team wasn't ready yet, and then now you're going to bring this player, a peak player, just to get shitted on throughout their whole, against all the NBA legends, pretty much. So
100% accurate. I totally get it. Yeah. You're completely right. And even though I shit on this team and I said that this team kind of sucks in general, it is better than the team previously. However, the three-pointer is alive and well in 85, 86, right? They would definitely be easily, I got to imagine, shooting the most threes in the league. We got to find that.
Yeah. It's not that much different from 85.
They're taking fucking 5. So they'd be tripling the number one team in the league in shooting.
And they're shooting significantly more efficient than the number. Right. If you look at the number one,
34%, that should put them right at the top here.
Yeah.
Right at the top.
Wait, hold on.
Top three.
It was 34. I thought they were at like 37. Maybe it was the playoffs. They were in 37.
The 0-1 Lakers. Maybe it's the playoffs. They're at a higher percentage. I could find that.
Yeah, I thought. No, it's fine.
What
For whatever reason, I thought that they shot like 37% or something like that. But I might be.
You might be right. Let's see.
Bugging.
What if it's definitely 38.6%? So yeah, there you go.
Oh, in the playoffs. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And they're also
they shot more.
Scoring. Yeah.
Wow, they shot more and made more.
I'm telling you, that team was like 10 years ahead of its time at minimum, arguably 20 years. And we noted that during the playoffs when they played the Spurs, it was like very obvious. It was the New York Times or the LA Times made it abundantly clear in hindsight that they were playing ahead of their actual league, where they were in the league. It was insane.
Because always the issue with these like great teams is at the end of the game who's gonna take over the game, right? Yeah. But what they had was the system, the triangle, and they were able to spread the ball and get the fucking Derek Fisher, all the trash players that Russell was shitting on, get them easy shots. Because you're gonna double Kobe, you're gonna double Shaq, so you get them the easy shots.
Yeah, and that's the key.
When the going got tough, you had a closer in Kobe, and then if you needed the automatic bucket, Shaq was your guy. So it was like the perfect formula.
Even though there's a lot of running and up and down, guys who are super athletes excel in this league in particular. Yeah. Like Dominique Wilkins is a force in this league at scoring and doing damage. He's in the MVP 100%. Conversation, I believe, this year. And
I think he was second, right?
It's either this year or next year that he's second. I'm not sure.
There
he was. Yeah, he's second. Yeah. He's second this year. You're right. And he even got for 5 first place votes. Like, he's dominating the league. I think a guy like Kobe does damage in this era. Like, serious damage. And I think tying that athleticism to Shaq, it's Shaq and Hakeem Olajuwon for most athletic big in the league.
For sure.
It would be a toss-up, and I feel like and Shaq would be easily the most dominant player in this league. Like, there's nobody competing with him in terms of, like, physical, dominance. There's just no other way to put it. And I think that'll shine. And I see the Lakers, I could see them, despite their issues, crossing the 60-win mark in this league. They're at 56 wins this year. 56 and 26 in 01. I could see the 60-win total factoring in the three-pointer, factoring in the physical nature of Shaq,
they had a
and
tougher
the super
West.
Athlete of Kobe. Yeah, and they had a tougher West.
They had a tougher West because you got to remember the Spurs won 58 games and were number 1 seed, and we Kobe put 40 on them, the first game in the Spurs. But all right, my bad. But number 1 seed here is gonna be a little different. You got the shitty West, so we're gonna just be beating the shit out of these hoes, and then we gonna be the number 2 seed still, but 60 wins.
I could see 60 wins. I really could see that as a legitimate possibility. With that in mind, 60 wins. What's your stat line for Shaq? As we said, he's 29 and 13. In a much slower pace.
Yeah. Well, so much faster pace, right?
Or much slower pace.
Sorry. Oh, yeah. Got you. 29. Yeah. So I got Shaq. I'm going like 32.
Okay.
And how many rebounds did he average at the time?
13. So 12.7.
I'm gonna go like 14 rebounds. I think he'll average more because there's more shots probably put up. Right? With the faster pace, you're probably going to get more shots up. But let's go 14, 15 maybe. And I got Kobe like probably averaging like 35 at this time. Mainly because of the pace. I think over the span of the year, because remember, in 01, Shaq was chilling in the beginning. Right. And they let Kobe go on a rampage. And that's what kind of fucked everything up. Because Kobe went on his rampage and he started dropping 40s and stuff like that. And he was going crazy. And then once Shaq started getting back, they had to reel Kobe back in. And he didn't really like that. then it caused for the injury for it to all kind of figure out. We talk about this in Shaq's legacy breakdown, but I think
first 20 games, Kobe averaging 30.
Yeah,
just for
in a slow pace too. Yeah, so I think he's gonna pretty much go crazier in a faster pace, and that's exactly what that's his kind of game. So I think that's gonna kind of make him play. I think they're gonna be close, but obviously Shaq taking it easy. It's a faster pace, and either way they want him for the playoffs. That's when he's gonna start averaging his 40 pieces. But
I see this being a realistic points per game for Kobe at the 30.3. He's gonna shoot like 20 to 25 shots. I see that, but I do think there's more talent at the wing and guard position that could. I don't know. Like a lot of these guys aren't super athletic. This kind of goes back to what I was saying. And the ones that are super athletic, like Dominique, aren't really known for defense. So you got a point. But like,
if Bird was putting up 40 on him, Kobe was doing the same. Like for sure.
So like, I'm not going to disagree there, but I do think it's 30 for Kobe and 35 for Shaq, because
Kobe's also shooting threes, right?
But Shaq, there's nobody down there that can match him. There's just nobody there.
But is he going to do that consistently throughout the entire year? That's the only thing.
2001 version of Shaq, I do believe he played. But he didn't do
it in 2001 though. That's the only thing. Like
he averaged 28 and he averaged 29 and 13. What are we talking about?
Look at his first 20 games.
It's not the best. It's not the fucking 30 and 15 we're gonna see in the playoffs. But like, I don't know. I still can't say he's not going to do this.
I feel that. Let's do his first 20.
First 20 games. He's 26, 13, and 3.8 blocks a game. So, like, I could still see.
Yeah. I can see that. That
with
could
a bunch of 30 spots.
28 or 29. But
if we narrow that down to,
what
do you call it?
15.
The 10, then it goes up to 27 a game. Like, he finishes at 28, and at the end of the season, he's going to turn the fuck up.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I feel like that's completely relevant to this stretch, where he just destroys the world to finish the season, giving you 31, 12.5, 2.3 blocks, shooting 56%.
That's when he starts amping shit up, yeah.
And he's going to the free throw line all the time. And I definitely think that's, even though we're talking a more physical era, you're still going to have to, like, borderline stab this guy to have him not make a shot. Because he's just going to, like, you cannot say that more physicality is a disadvantage for Shaq. You can't.
Especially not in this era. Like, you
can't say that.
They're going to let him do everything.
That's what I'm saying. Like, if somebody told me that, Shaq was going to, what do you call it? Shaq's going to get physical down there. He's going to get punched. Bill Laimbeer's going to trip him and bother him. That means Shaq gets to throw elbows.
Yeah.
Those are automatic buckets.
Yeah, I definitely think Shaq dominates the league. I'm just thinking that he's not going to be as eager to destroy the league this year. Like, that's not I feel like he just reeled it back because he was like, I'm going to win championships.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm not telling you you're wrong, but the stats do show that he was still that guy, like, putting on damage.
100%. That's why this is his. It's like you have the same guy from the year before, but then you have the only reason, literally the only reason that we picked the 01 Lakers over the 2000 Lakers is because of Kobe.
Yeah, that's a big reason. It's because Kobe takes an obvious jump and it makes it more competitive as we get into the playoffs, which I want to get into in a minute. So
Shaq is the same, pretty much.
So you have Shaq second in MVP voting. What do you have, based on what I'm hearing?
Yeah, either way, no matter how it is, if it's 35, whatever. Like, Shaq and Kobe are both going to be averaging 30.
Sure.
There's no way that Bird shouldn't get it. With still winning 67 games.
Yeah, there's no taking away from him. This is Bird's last of his three-peat of MVPs.
Yeah. And you're going to say that the third, because technically they're going to be the third seed in the entire NBA.
Yeah.
The Lakers will be. And the guy who's averaging 30, but his teammates also averaging 30 is gonna win MVP. Like it just doesn't make sense. Like
yeah, I agree with you. I think you're right. I feel like, but I do think I do. What were you gonna say, Len? What do you got? I'm glad you cut me off because I didn't let you interject. Fucking, what do you think about the Lakers win total and Shaq from a scoring? Give me a stat line for Shaq.
A stat. Why do you ask me these number things? I'm so bad at giving random numbers.
If all you had to do was listen to what me and Dario were saying, you can come up with something.
But like what I'm gonna say isn't gonna be that much different. I mean,
but I'm interested, and the audience is interested. Most importantly, the people want to know.
I do agree that physicality won't be a bad thing for Shaq, so I can see his numbers going up. But like, I don't know. I feel like it'd be easier for Kobe's numbers to go up than for Shaq's.
Okay, why?
Because of the faster pace benefits his game a little bit more. And I just feel like more teams will have big guys. Like, I feel like there's...
You think?
Yeah.
See, I do think there's more centers.
NBA was built at that point.
Yeah.
That's why in Jordan's draft, the first pick is Hakeem. The second pick is Sam Bowie, right? Whatever the dude's name.
Yes.
That's because the league.
Yeah. So I feel like Shaq has more competition at his position, and so I feel like Kobe has less, and so maybe his numbers would be a little bit higher. So maybe Shaq just gets the 30, and Kobe's at like 32, 33.
So then do you think Kobe would be higher in MVP voting? Question for both of you.
I think neither of them would be super high just because they're both putting out so much.
Yeah.
I think they'll be in top 5. I just think Shaq will always, at this point, Shaq would be ahead of Kobe because it's clearly noticeable that the Lakers at this point is ran through Shaq.
Sure.
And I think that
definitely from a narrative perspective it is. That's definitely true.
Yeah, but either way, even if you watch the games, like if you don't think that the Lakers are ran through Shaq, like I don't know what we watch. Like,
but if we're saying Kobe's putting up 35 and Shaq's putting up 30, but that's because
that's
a difference.
So it's like honestly, the very next this is like my thought process. You literally got Kobe plays exactly like Michael, and next year Michael averages 37.
Yeah,
right.
You're not wrong.
And he's completely destroyed. Like the league couldn't.
And he definitely shoots better than that Jordan who had 37.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like you literally have a better version of him in this league now. And they looked at Michael as do what you want to do, hoes. But no, but in reality, literally, like they looked at Jordan as we can't believe what he's doing, right? And Kobe's gonna do literally the same shit. Yeah. Like, very similar at least. Not, whether you want to say Jordan's doing it better, it's going to be something that they haven't seen before. So.
Yeah. That's fair. And, man, what a cool league that would be with young Jordan and young Kobe next year. Oh man. Especially because we know Shaq definitely starts out that year super fucking injured.
Yeah.
So it's going to be that till Christmas. It's going to be Kobe and MJ for the scoring title.
Yeah.
Banger.
Just going insane.
So we have our stat lines for Shaq. We have where we thinking he's at MVP. I assume we have him as the first team center over a 38-year-old Kareem. Kind of crazy that 38-year-old Kareem is the first team center.
Kareem shouldn't even be the first team center. Like he should be the third team. Like this is literally off name alone.
Well, there is no third team in this era. So that's probably why.
So he should be not on it. Like, unless, what did Philly and Houston, it doesn't matter. But did they, I'm assuming they made the playoffs, so.
Yes. Houston is going to beat the Lakers in the playoffs. And Philadelphia
I knew that.
is like,
I'm talking about
they're real nasty with Chuck and Dr. J at the end of his career. And a few others. Moses Malone, obviously.
It really must be like the seeding because the Lakers are the number 1 seed, and everybody still talks about Kareem as if he was the best player in the league at this point, which isn't. I can't believe that people.
I don't believe it. I don't believe it. Larry Bird's the best player.
Larry Bird's the best player in the league for sure. Yeah.
and that's it. Like,
yeah,
I don't know. Yeah, I agree with you. That's fucking insane.
Yeah.
So Shaq's definitely the first team center. Kareem, get the fuck out is what we're saying. We're keeping Olajuwon at the second team.
Yeah.
Sorry, everybody.
Yeah.
And look, it was a battle in the era. Look, first team and second team votes. You could see it. It was not this was very much a split decision. But I think Shaq, with his either 30 and, what'd you say, 30 and 13, 14?
Yeah, he's probably
getting. I have him at 35 and 15. There's no way he's not getting first team center under that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Under that. No fucking way.
For me, I had him at 32 and 14. So that would be first team, for sure. And wait, time out. You think, is Kobe taking out whoever the guard is? What guard are we taking out for Kobe?
You have Magic Johnson or Isaiah?
Who we doing? Is Kobe?
I feel like he's
probably gonna be like 30.
It has to be Isaiah. In my eyes,
he's 35, 6 and 6, but that
it has to be Isaiah. If we're playing this, because Isaiah's lower on the in the East, and Magic Johnson definitely has more wins.
Yeah, that's true.
And he's 19 and 12 and a half.
And Isaiah's hated at this point.
Yes, that too.
So,
if we're throwing the real life shit in there, yes.
Yeah.
They're almost in the bad boy range, but Isaiah's only got 46 wins. So like,
I wonder what the bad boys would do in this Kobe Shaq era, because that would be.
Like if we brought the bad boys to 2001, is what you're saying?
No. I'm talking about like if the bad boys Pistons were here, right?
Yeah.
And they faced them in the finals. Like, are they doing the Jordan roots to Kobe?
Not this year, but maybe as we get later on in the 80s. Yeah, probably.
And like, what do they do with Shaq in that situation? Because you can't.
Don't.
Like, you do the Jordan roots. Yeah, they can't.
They tell Lambeer. They go, "Hey, Lambeer, do me a favor. Just start talking shit about his mother. Say terrible things about his mom. Try to get him to fight you. Yeah, try to get him to fight you. Just elbow him in the eye a couple of times. Whatever you do, don't play basketball against him. Don't try to guard him like you're a good defender. Just like, give him little like elbow shivers. Try to like hit him in the spinal cord. Try to take out some nerves. That's what we want. We want him so frustrated.
Is there actual like a Bill Lambeer highlight reel? Like, have you
a fight like reel
before? No,
a fight like reel. Yeah, that's what it should be. Yeah, I don't know. I know there's highlights of Bill Lambeer getting absolutely like the shit beat out of him and being in the fights.
Shit, but
fucking like when Robert Parrish fucking stabbed him in the eye with his fist like this.
Oh man, yeah,
that was crazy. I feel like I've brought that up a couple times recently. I was telling somebody else about that not that long ago. But we are good to go playoffs. We looking at playoffs?
Yeah.
Okay. We are looking at the Western Conference. So there are 4 rounds. We have a first round matchup. Who do we want to take?
Do you want to do the Mavericks first, and then we go Houston and then Lakers?
Let's see what we got. So
I think that was the team that
gave Lakers like
trouble was the Mavericks.
Yeah. Well, they did get into a series with the Lakers that went how long? Right? They went. Oh no, they played the Spurs. When did they play them? They played the Mavericks in the second round. That went 6 games.
Yeah,
I knew. I thought I saw that at some point. So, but there's such who's on this team.
It's literally like
I have to talk about these guys. Who is on this team?
Yeah, no, I know.
We got Rolando Blackman and Mark Aguirre. Guys, I barely know their game. I only know about Mark Aguirre because he was on the Bad Boy Pistons. That's and I only know about Sam Perkins because he was on the fucking Supersonics. I know about none of these guys for being on the Mavericks at all.
Yeah.
What about who's the Jazz got already? I know they got Stockton. Do they have a young Stockton Malone?
Might.
They do have a young Stockton Malone and Adrian Dantley. Fucking too young Stockton though. Way too young.
Yeah.
Yeah, finding this extra team is going to be difficult. Let's see.
What's the Nuggets?
So Nuggets, they have a pretty good roster. So they have a man who does not get his due at all.
Alex.
And I never hear anybody talking about him. And his name is Alex English. The guy retired. I'm almost positive he retired as a top 10 scorer in the league. Known for just like being one of those little guys who could post up. And like a game that just, if he tried to play today, I don't think it would work at all. Like I just don't think you could get away with it. He would be the most unique player in the league.
That's like a Mike Miller kind of. No, is it? Sorry, not Mike Miller.
No, Mike Miller shoots threes. This guy wouldn't
I'm
even
talking
dare.
about, shit, it's Miller. Fuck, what's his name? He used to post up all the time. He was a point guard, and he played for like Portland.
Andre Miller.
Yeah.
Andre Miller. Love Andre Miller. That guy could pass too. He was a crazy good passer.
Yeah.
Fucking but they also have Fat Lever, known for getting triple doubles. This team had like cool guys on it. There's a bunch of cool guys on this team. We're gonna use this team.
I'm just gonna be making fun of the names this whole time. This is
yeah,
the
it works.
funniest name
I have the 0-1 Lakers in 3 games. I'm pretty sure that's legitimate. Pretty sure it's 5-game series. I have them in 3 games. I have Shaq putting up 40 and 20.
Yeah.
Easily.
I agree.
They don't have anybody who rebounds the ball in this fucking team. Let's see where they were at rebounding for the league. Defensive rebounding, they're 18th. Total rebounding, they're right dead in the middle.
Okay.
The Lakers are going
they're bottom 5. There's only 23 teams in this league.
Oh, shit. So there you go. Thank you. Fucking.
Yeah. I was like, that doesn't make sense. Like, how are they so good?
Yeah, right?
Well, we just saw the averages.
They have the fastest pace in the league. So the only chance they have to win a game is to literally keep Shaq in the middle of the court by running back and forth. That's the only way this is going to work for them to win a game.
Yeah.
There's no fucking way. Shaq is bullying is there even anybody on this team who's 7 feet tall? No, there isn't. There's no 7-footers on this team.
No, there's one.
One. Blair Rasmussen. He's a rookie. He put up a grand total of 3 points on 3 shots.
His minutes are gonna double because they're gonna be
they're gonna have to. Look, they did in the playoffs. Look,
today.
They did. He played more in the playoffs. Blair Rasmussen put up 11 points a game, 6 rebounds
on 17. Yeah, so he probably averaged like 25 minutes a game for sure against Shaq. That's the same thing that the Bulls used to do in the 90s. Like they didn't really play those bigs like that. But they played specific big guys just so they could deal with Shaq.
Gotta do it. Gotta fucking do it. And I still think Shaq puts up 40 and 20. Like, easily 40 and 20. Laughably. Like what he did against the Kings.
Yeah.
All game, every game. Dick given.
Yeah, he's definitely gonna eat them alive for sure.
And I think Kobe could get 10 assists a game.
Yeah.
I think Kobe could get 10 assists a game right here. Because I think they're going to try to shut him down because that's the personnel that they have. Yeah. Like, they don't have anybody guard Shaq, so they just got to double Kobe and try to collapse on him, right? And Kobe's definitely going to be smart enough to dish it out because that's what he did in the real 2001 playoffs.
Yeah.
And there's a chance with the faster pace he gets up to 10 assists. Yeah. For sure.
It's definitely, especially when it comes to the way this Laker team worked, it was pretty much who can exploit who can exploit their plan, Kobe or Shaq, and then that's how they ran the offense pretty much. That's why it kind of worked out that they did have that split between how the offense was ran throughout the year because I think they used that to their advantage in the playoffs.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I definitely think so. And their pace went up in the playoffs, didn't it? I think it did.
I think it did.
I think it did. I'll get that. 2 seconds.
That's probably partially because of the San Antonio series, though. Because I think they were probably trying to run up and down the court against them.
I feel like anybody was trying to do that. Anybody and everybody. Yeah, their pace bumped up to 92, which is a little bit higher than 91, so not that much different actually.
It was 4th. Yeah, but I mean it was 4th in the.
It was 4th in the NBA. Yeah.
It's crazy.
Which, in comparison to the regular season, they're 14th. So right in the middle. Yeah. So, I think this is a laughable sweep.
Yeah.
The West. This is where the West's lack of depth. They're gonna get punished for that big time.
Yeah, someone write in the comment to tell me about some of these guys in this team. Tell me how Fat Lever was good. All right.
Hey, Fat Lever was good. He was sick.
All right.
I stand by Fat Lever and Alex English. Outside of that, the rest of these guys can blow me.
Yeah.
Fucking. But
my man was named after a freaking tool. Oh, he was named after a fat tool. Like, I'd be so mad if I was him.
His name is
like,
Lafayette
Lever.
They didn't name their kid Fat.
Ooh,
Fat is his nickname.
Oh, okay, that makes way more sense to me. I'm like, who the frick names a guy Fat Lever, man? Like,
might as well name your kid Overweight John. Fucking. Let's see. I'm pretty sure his full name is Lafayette Lever. Yeah, there you go.
Oh, okay. All right.
Fat Lever definitely sounds better in all things considered.
He's definitely not.
Yeah, he was a point guard. He was one of the first point guards to get triple doubles fairly regularly. Best year, 20 points, 9.3 rebounds, 8 assists, 2.7 steals. He was solid.
We don't give a fuck about Fat Lever. Tell Fat Lever.
Nah, he was solid. Fucking, I'll ride for Fat Lever all day long. He's great. And really fun to use in 2K because he could do everything. Fucking, but
that's the only reason Russell knows this guy. Because Fat Lever.
I'm not gonna confirm or deny that. But we are looking at the Houston Rockets. Obviously, we talked about Akeem Olajuwon already. Really looking forward to talking about Akeem Olajuwon a lot this year. And we're going to be deep diving into this 80s run because I feel like there's just not a lot of shit on this 80s run. Like,
yeah.
And
I feel like they should be talked about more than, especially in this, like, them beating the Lakers. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, them being the Lakers, like, I feel like the league just wanted it so bad to be Lakers Boston that they're like, fuck these dudes. We're not even going to talk about them.
Yeah.
And they got dog walked in the finals, so, yeah.
But it wasn't even that. They took the Celtics to 6 games. They took the Celtics to 6 games, and they took the Lakers to 6 games. Obviously, they lost the Celtics, but they beat the Lakers on some wild bullshit. It was insane. It was like Ralph Sampson threw it up. It bounced off, and it went in, and nobody thought the Lakers were going to lose that series. Nobody.
Yeah.
But Akeem Olajuwon was just a man amongst boys. And Ralph Sampson, this could have altered the course of the 80s, of the late 80s, if Ralph Sampson stays healthy. I'm almost positive that this is either his last year. This is his last year of being healthy. And then he's never going to play a serious amount of games again. But in college, he was a fucking beast. Let's see. College stats. Last year in college, mind you, he's 7'4", 19 and 12. How many blocks did he have? 103 blocks in 33 games.
33 games. So that's about 3 games a block. About
3 games a block?
3 blocks a game. 3 blocks a game.
I was with it. Fucking... a lot of people thought he had a chance to be the GOAT coming out of college. Like, he was that guy. A lot of people really had Ralph Sampson up there. But they are able, like I said, they're able to get to the finals this year, and it's a dominant twin tower duo to go along with not a lot of guard work. So please tell me where we've seen this before.
Yeah, this is like the Spurs 2.0, right? Or Spurs will be the 2.0.
Yeah,
all right, whatever.
This is kind of like a precursor to what.
But it's gonna be a worse. I think Kobe does these guys worse than he does the Spurs. But that's probably because I respect the Spurs a little more. But
that's fair, and you also saw it with your own eyes, where this team is it's different. You did not see them so much with your own eyes.
So I think Kobe averages like actually 40. Like he didn't average 40 against the Spurs. He averaged like 30 something, but he's averaging 40 against these guys.
What's their pace? Sure. They're 103.5. Everything's going to be faster.
Perfect.
So
yeah,
I do think
awesome.
He's like perfect.
It's going to be great. He's going to be so happy.
So much like they did to the Spurs, they have to win in transition here. I do think the Rockets get to 6 games with the Lakers. With this 0-1 Lakers. I do think it goes 6. They went 6 against 2 of the greatest teams ever. I'm giving them 6 games against this greatest team ever.
Yep.
And I really think that it looks a lot like we got to go to that Spurs matchup. We got to go right to it because I think the numbers are going to be slightly juiced from that.
Yeah.
When you're thinking about the faster pace. What was the pace for this series?
Shaq
89.9.
Yeah. And Shaq
Kobe got to 33, 7, and 7.
Yeah.
Totally could get 40. I'm fine with that. Yeah. I'm totally fine with that.
And I think Shaq could still average 30.
I don't see why possibly, not. But if you told me this was his stat line, but he shot 50% instead of 54, I could see that too. Like, Hakeem Olajuwon and Ralph Sampson are tough on defense. It's just the both of them. Like, it's scary.
I mean, Tim Duncan and freaking this dude
Dave
there
Robinson.
At the time?
Yeah,
he was there.
But we talked about it in the moment, and we saw it over years of time. This was Shaq's easily best series against the Spurs during this era.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like this was best case scenario for Shaq.
And it was also like fueled with all of the shit talk between the two teams too.
Yes.
But the only thing is, do you think that Spurs team is better than the Houston team?
I do think they're similar in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
Like, they do have Antonio Daniels, who is a slight upgrade from whoever the Rockets were going to put out there. But it's really Tim Duncan and David Robinson, and it's a worse David Robinson than Ralph Sampson, who's in his athletic peak.
I think Houston's better.
I think Houston's bigs are... I think that threat is more to Shaq. I do think that's more threatening to Shaq. And it looks like 99.
Yeah.
They're that playoff situation. Which...
I actually...
What were the numbers there?
So I think I got them going 5. And this is my only reason. This Laker team didn't lose a game until AI.
Right.
AI did it.
Definitely
his
true.
thing, right? Unless Hakeem is giving you a 40 or 50 piece, like which I still don't know because Kobe's gonna be matching it, like, and then Shaq's definitely gonna still do it too. So
but he could do it. Hakeem could do it.
He could, but I just think like the thing with the AI 50 pieces, no one else was dropping 40 or 50 with him, right? Well, I guess Shaq kind of did, but in this case, Kobe could definitely drop 50 with him. And it's just gonna even itself out, and then it's like, all right, how you gonna deal with the threes still? Because that still matters. Like we haven't even really brought it up yet, but in reality, those threes are still gonna be kicking in. You got Shaq and Kobe. I think Shaq could still get at minimum the 27.
Yeah. So this is from the 99 against the Spurs. This is what I was thinking. Like especially with the slower pace. I like the 27, I like the 13, and I like this field goal percentage for Shaq in this situation. But Kobe getting the 47 and 7 is pretty realistic, and it might even be more than 7 and 7. Like, I could see that for sure.
He could definitely wall out in that series, and I think I gotta go on 5 personally. I still think that the threes matter.
Yeah,
I think Shaq still put up his numbers. I don't think he's. I think he's going against Hakeem. I think he's at minimum giving you 25. But
if we had
probably
Horace Grant
more
from
like
the
30
Bulls,
in my opinion.
If we had Horace Grant from the Bulls era, then I think 5 is probably more accurate because now you got Shaq and Horace Grant defensively against Hakeem and Ralph Sampson, and I think it's a little bit better of a matchup. But I do think their size becomes overwhelming for this team. Definitely 1 game, possibly 2 games. Because I'm
not mad at the 6.
Like
but
I think it's close. I'm not mad at your 5. That's totally the 3s are. You're totally right about the 3s. There's no getting around the 3-pointers.
Yeah,
they're going to be taking
at
minimum double, more than likely triple the 3s that the Rockets will be taking and making. So it's just hard to argue that that's not going to make a difference in the score sheet. It's going to have to.
Yeah.
And the 5 is probably realistic. So we need to do the Western Conference Finals against, considering they didn't make the finals, possibly the best team to never make the finals. Like,
yeah, I mean, there's a couple. There's a decent amount.
Nobody
of
brings this team up because of how dominant this run is for the Lakers, and they do make the finals a bunch of times. But this team's fucking good. This team is really fucking good.
It's literally like the same team as the year before.
I mean, the year after.
The next year. Sorry,
Both
teams. I meant the year after, yeah.
Like,
they really just unleashed magic the next year, but that's the only real difference in this team from the next year.
Yeah, you still have Big Game James putting up 20 a game, right? And in the playoffs, that goes to basically staying the same and solid, 20 points a game, 56% shooting.
Surely the current,
Magic 22 and 15 with 7 rebounds a game in the playoffs. And Kareem's taking a step up at 38. Yeah, with 2 steals. All these motherfuckers are getting steals.
This is where I could see what you said. Bill Simmons said that Kareem was doing it. Yeah, like this is where I see what he's talking about.
Yeah, he definitely stepped
26 a game, but it's still look at it. It's 26, 6 and 4. Like LeBron's putting up right now 30, 9 and 8. Like it's it's still
it's ridiculous. It's
like I over exaggerated the 9 and 8, but still he's still putting up. Like they compared LeBron James, not to make this a LeBron show, but
whatever.
They literally compared LeBron's MVP seasons, his 4 MVPs, to this season, and statistically, this season looks better than most of those, which is crazy.
You know what's crazy? If we're talking about just what we do on this program, we did LeBron's legacy breakdown, and somehow we're gonna have to fucking do a lot more. Because I don't see a moment when this guy's retiring. We could have fucking 3 or 4 more hours of content to go through with LeBron and to finish his legacy breakdown.
We at least got 2 more seasons to go through.
That's what I'm saying. But we're right in the middle of a run for the Lakers between last year and the next year. So this 3-year run, where their average offensive rating is 114.3. That is fucking crazy. Easily number 1 over that span. And I'm pretty sure it's a gap between first and second for offensive rating. This is the best offense ever to this point, period. The best. Most efficient, the most unique, the most ahead of its time.
There's no other offense that's been like you're saying first and second all time or first and second this season?
I'm saying for me personally, up to 85, 86, or up to the 80s, this is the best offense ever. I'm not looking anything ahead of this. I'm talking about at this point, in the point in history, this is the best offense ever. There's definitely a case to be made that it's still the best offense ever, but I definitely think there's more arguments now with the Warriors and there's a few other teams that are in that conversation. But
gotcha. That's crazy.
Amazing fucking offense. And oh man, they just have Magic Johnson, just to your point.
Yeah.
Chomping at the bits, waiting to fucking uncork you.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think this was really, this playoffs is really what unleashed that. When you look at it, 22 and 15, they probably looked at it as
savage.
We could let this guy go because next year he does 24 and 12, doesn't he? Isn't that 24, 12, and 6 or something like that? Like that's...
Yeah. They started off this season 24 and 3.
Yeah. Like
they were well on their way. And a lot of people thought they were better than the Celtics, and they really wanted to see this happen in the finals. They did.
Yeah.
And they never got there because of a crazy buzzer beater by Ralph Sampson.
Yeah.
And
well, I don't know because
it was game 5. They win. They did.
Yeah, I was gonna say
they did beat the Lakers in 5 games. It wasn't 6 games. I was wrong earlier. They didn't beat the Lakers. They beat the Lakers in 5 games.
Oh, so they beat the shit out of the Lakers.
Absurd.
Yeah, so
they beat the dog shit out of them.
That's funny.
The size was probably overwhelming.
That's how you know that they really try to the media really tries to spin shit because they make it seem like the Lakers lost on a weird buzzer beater, but in reality,
true.
They were down 3-1. Motherfuckers, come on.
Yeah, and Akeem 31 and 11 with 4 blocks a game, just slapping his African meat on the table, fucking dominating. Don't give a shit.
So this is the thing, like
okay. So here we go. Talk to me.
Shaq. How does Shaq not put 40 on them then? Because like I really do think
tough to argue.
Shaq. Yeah, like Shaq is gonna be physical as fuck with that old ass. You know how Bill
with that
Simmons
old
is like
geezer, with that fucking
was,
old ass geezer, gray haired.
He said Kareem was doing this. Shaq's gonna make it look like Kareem was not doing that. Like he's gonna ragdoll the shit out of Kareem. Like
yeah, poor Kareem. Poor Kareem. It wasn't his fault. It's not his fault.
Yeah. And Magic's not gonna make up for it.
He gets over 20 points a game on Shaq, but that's about it.
And I want to know who's stopping Kobe from putting up 30 on them, especially with Magic there. Like Kobe's gonna be on bullshit too. They both gonna literally want to dog walk them. I got Lakers. I got Lakers in full.
No, I'm not doing that. No way. No way. I can't go that far.
No, yo, tell me. All right. Let me explain. All right. Besides the threes, I'm not even gonna bring up the threes because I feel like it's always unfair when I do it. But it's really the truth. Like that's always gonna be the big factor that really gaps them. But in reality,
this team was taking more threes than most of the league, but it's still not a lot. But
we've taken 3 times more threes.
I totally agree, but I feel like if this is the type of team that if Magic Johnson saw these guys hitting threes, he would go right to fucking Byron Scott and Michael Cooper and go, "You guys can fucking do that. Go out there, stand in the corners, and wait for my passes." I do believe that this is one of the few teams in history that would ramp up their threes potentially in a matchup. I do think that could happen. They have the personnel to do it.
But they don't practice threes.
No, I know. You're right.
So that matters.
Definitely
right. That means that you're going to be shooting more threes and you're most likely going to be missing more too. Like, because you don't practice them. Like, that matters a ton.
But I do think they could double their three output.
Yeah.
I do
that's
think
to the 2001 Lakers advantage. If they make them switch up their entire game and start shooting threes, and stop giving Kareem those easy balls. Like that makes it worse. If I was them, I would try to I don't even know what you do with Shaq. Like really, I don't understand. Like you gotta get Shaq in foul trouble or something.
Yeah,
because
I don't think. Here's my one thing to the '86 Lakers defense. I don't think they have anybody that can guard Magic on the 01 Lakers. I just don't. I don't think so.
So Magic attacks the basket. That's the way he scores.
Yes, but he also has his back to the basket, too. He uses his height advantage. Yeah. He does. Not as much as he's going to in the early 90s and, later on, but he's got it. It's there. There's no getting around that. He has that game, and he's a beast with it when he knows he's taller than the people he's going against, which is most of the league at the guard position.
Yeah, Magic definitely makes it an issue because their lineups are going to be awesome. Derek Fisher is gonna have to guard somebody else. He can't guard Magic Johnson.
No, I'm not totally sure. Kobe
I don't think they're putting Kobe on him. Yeah,
I don't think Kobe at this stage can do it. If Michael Jordan couldn't do it at 91, I don't think a guy with the same dimensions and not at the peak of his powers yet is gonna be able to do it.
I agree with that. Actually,
I don't think. And so I have 01 Lakers in 6 because I can't see anybody stopping Shaq. To your point, there's just
I think it's gonna be brutal too. He's gonna be
Kareem could get injured.
I just imagine that's what I'm saying. I just imagine seeing Kareem flying and stuff, and Shaq's shaking on the rim too,
fucking
making
there's
sure.
Gonna be a lot
I
of
remember what you
steps.
said about me in '99, motherfucker.
Fucking a lot of elbows, drop steps, and dunks. But I do think whether it gets to 6 games is going to completely come down to Magic Johnson getting the ball to the others on that team. The others are going to have a big say in this battle. Because if the others on the 01 Lakers get from their kickouts, decide to really hit their threes, then I do think it could be a 5-game series. That's totally possible. Yeah. But if Magic Johnson does fucking inspire his team and does his wild flashy passes for open threes that these guys aren't hitting at a high clip, but they do hit them. That is part of this offense. Yeah. And I do think it does make things really fucking interesting. So
I could see. All right, I could see them getting one. All right, I'll give them five.
Magic's definitely getting a fucking 30-point triple double at least one game in the series.
I'll definitely. You gotta give Magic at least one. I'm that's disrespectful of me for going for my bad, Magic. But you definitely only getting 5.
Yeah. Fucking vile. I just think it's tough to argue. Lindsay, what do you think?
About who's winning and how much?
Yeah. Game, series, reason why.
I give it to the 0-1 Lakers. Let's go 6 games.
And who do you think dominates?
Shaq dominates for sure because just Kareem's old as fuck. Like I like Kareem, but Shaq will dominate him. But I feel like Magic Johnson definitely has some like outstanding games, and that's why it goes 6.
Right? I feel like it's just inevitable that he has one of those like 30, 12, and 14 triple-double, shoots like 11 of 15 from the field. Even if it's just once, he's getting at least one. He's in that part of his career where he could do that like when called upon. Fucking, but I what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do against Shaq, who's just playoff Shaq, itching to fucking dominate?
Yeah,
especially a guy who averaged 30 and 15.
Yeah, 100%.
In a slow pace.
Eat Kareem alive. He's gonna literally eat him alive.
I completely fucking see it.
Like he's gonna retire him. Like he would retire him after that.
It's 100%. Possible.
Kareem gets ragdolled like that. He's gonna be like, "Why if we gotta deal with
what
these
am I
guys
still
every
doing
year from
here?
now on?
What am I still doing here? Why?
That. Fuck
I
you
cannot
guys.
go
You
through
guys
this again.
Go deal with that. He's a monster.
Fucking.
Think of Shaq.
I could see the clip headline now. Why Shaq retires Kareem? Fucking boom. You're welcome, everyone.
Yeah.
Fucking. But we have one final team to go against in 85-86. And that is arguably the greatest team in league history. Depending on who you ask. I feel like it depends on what region you're from, honestly. Like, I feel like people from LA probably have one of those 80s Laker teams or this Laker team we're talking about. I feel like,
but I mean, that's like
Massachusetts people swear by this team.
Yeah. It's like fanism, though. I feel like if you're talking about like unbiasedness, straight up, I mean, they're definitely there for me. I think they're probably maybe 2.
Second?
Yeah.
I have them as probably the best team. I mean, we're going to find out because this is really 2 top 5 all-time teams, no matter what way you look at it, going against each other here.
Yep.
Celtics, one of the greatest passing teams of all time. Obviously, 67-15, as we see on the screen. They had the best home record at 40-1 during the regular season at home.
Yeah.
Fucking amazing. And 10-0 during the playoffs. So
the entire so they never lost to the. Oh, that makes sense because they beat them in 6.
Yeah, they never lost at home, not once. They've lost literally one time the entire season.
Yeah, that's crazy. Who did they lose to?
They lost. Good question. I feel like finding that out. The Portland Trailblazers.
Oh,
kind of a weird one.
Okay.
Kind of a weird one. I can't. Is Drexler on this team yet? Yeah, Drexler's on this team.
Well, who
kind
played?
of an all-around.
Was it like
a rare Sam Bowie game. Wow.
Oh, okay.
The man drafted before Michael Jordan stepped up.
Yeah, this was that year too. You know,
at least he's got some claim to fame here. But yeah, obviously led by the Great White Hope, a.k.a. Larry Bird.
Our boy.
His 3rd MVP in a row, as we talked about.
Mm-hmm.
His 3rd MVP in a row. 26, 10, and 7 with 2 steals a game in the regular season. In the playoffs, same points per game. 26, 9.5, and 8 with 2 steals. shooting 50, 40, 90. Wow.
Yeah.
52, 41, 93 splits.
Yeah. That's pretty fire.
Insane.
Yep.
That is insane.
And you got Kevin McHale, 25 and 9. That's pretty good.
Yep. Really stepping into his own.
Yeah.
Regular season took a big jump between regular season and playoffs. Yeah, 20, 25, 8.5.
And that makes sense because the very next year, that's when he averages like that 26.
Yeah, and they were both top 5 in MVP voting, I think.
Yeah.
Dennis Johnson, obviously. The 6th man of the year, Bill Walton, who had a 6th sense with Larry Bird. Like, they used to have the sickest. Fucking Walton gets the ball in the post. Larry moves around off ball. They had some sweet passing connections.
Yeah. And
this team, I'm pretty sure, is either number 1 or number 2 in assists. Number 2 to the Lakers, but 29 assists a game during the regular season.
Yeah. Insane.
That's fucking amazing.
How were they defensively?
Let's find out. So during the regular season, basically almost top 10 in a lot of these opponent categories. 3rd in opponent points per game. Defensive rating is number 1 in the league, 102.6. Solid to answer your question.
So they really arguably the greatest team of all time.
Like we were saying, and they're gonna go against another team in that discussion. What do you think? Where's your head at?
This is a hard one because it's like they definitely all around have the better team, right?
Yeah,
you would say.
Yes.
I think in that series, obviously, 2 of the top 3 players playing are on the Lakers, but when you do like pound for pound, definitely Boston is probably beating the Lakers in every category besides center and shooting guard.
Definitely an infinitely deeper team.
Yeah, exactly. So,
which was one of my big problems coming into these hypotheticals, was I was really concerned about the Lakers' overall depth.
Yeah.
When it came to the real greatest teams like this team that we're looking at.
And the issue that I find with this Laker team versus the Celtics that I didn't really find as much with the Lakers, because the thing with these Celtics, even in their half-court offense, there was so much passing. I felt like with the Lakers, when we would like compare the Lakers, even though they were number 1 in assists, it was a lot of like fast break. Like in their half-court offense is pretty much Kareem. And Magic, whenever Magic Johnson explains what the Los Angeles Lakers were, he would say flashy, and then whenever we had to get a bucket, we went to Kareem. That was literally because that's their half-court offense. This is Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. And I think when you're going pound for pound with Shaq, that's an issue. But in this case, you have people passing it all over the place, and I think that's it's just you can't stop the ball. Like you're not faster than the ball, is I think what Greg Popovich would say. And they're pretty much like the 2014 for Spurs, same exact kind of identity, right? And that's where like the thing that keeps the Lakers, I probably see this going 6 or 7 Boston's way. Mm-hmm. And I think the thing that keeps the Lakers in it is the 3-point line. But overall, you got to pace significantly faster, and I think this team will control the pace because both they're going to be fast or they're going to be moving the ball either in the half court or in the fast break. And I think even with the Lakers trying to slow down the pace, it's just going to be too much. But I think the threes keep them in it, so I probably go with 7, but I think the Celtics will probably win the series.
To your point about depth, my big concern, yes, Shaq is better than Robert Parrish and Bill Walton and Kevin McHale, if I was to stack them and rank them. But, like, for defense, I don't know if we're going to see a better 3-person group to put in front of Shaq than what we're going to see with Bill Walton, historically great at defense. Robert Parrish, known for his being the chief and holding down the fort in the middle. And Kevin McHale's at 2.5 blocks a game this year in the playoffs. So he's doing his fair share. Then
I still think Shaq ragdolls them though. Like when they do guard
this is to me is the Kobe series. This if they're gonna win, it's gonna be on Kobe's back because I think Dennis Johnson is a threat to Kobe, but after that, their guard situation is lacking. It is. It's lacking.
Ainge was usually the guy on. Yeah, Ainge was usually the guy on Jordan, which was just insane.
63 this year. Jordan put up 63 despite barely having a jump shot.
Motivated, like
just. But I think Kobe could drop a lot of points on this Boston team for that reason. But I have the Celtics in 6 with Shaq averaging 28 on near 50% shooting, but I have Kobe at 33 to 34 and him averaging like 50%. Like I know it's weird hearing it from me, right? I know, really strange, but I really think I really think that Kobe's going to go off, but I have Celtics in 6 games. They cannot stop the passing. Their defense is good, but not great.
I think the defense in the postseason is great. I think if we're just looking at regular season, sure, but postseason defense of the Lakers.
Oh, it's definitely was infinitely better.
Yeah,
but
they were literally number one in there. I think the year that they were actually in the playoffs.
Right.
Yeah.
I still think the ball movement is going to be a lot for them.
Yeah.
Which is something that you were talking about. Because it's not. You can have a great defense. At the end of the day, the ball moves faster than the bodies.
Yep.
And if you can outthink, which that's the one thing about this team.
Yeah. They have a lot of
geniuses between Bill Walton, Larry Bird, Dennis Johnson, Kevin McHale, Danny Ainge, who we know is a great basketball mind. Like Rick Carlisle, he doesn't play that much, but legend, like, has gone on to be an amazing coach, really smart guy. Yeah. Like, there's a lot of smart basketball players on this team.
And I think, I see, the only thing that we disagree on is I think Shaq does have a good series still. Like, even though you're 28 and whatever isn't bad, but it's more so like I think Kobe and Shaq get theirs. I just don't think that I think it's just not enough because Shaq's efforts to like you said, Shaq's I still think Shaq could get 30 on him, but what it's gonna take for him to get 30 in terms of just like the constant, like, you know, how long it takes forever for Shaq to score a point, right? But he's an automatic bucket. But the thing with this team is they were pretty much automatic buckets too, because they're getting easy ass layups and stuff like. So when you have that counteracting you along with other great players that can score on their own, like I could totally see Larry Bird taking over a fourth quarter in Boston or something. It's just I think their team is just not enough for this team in totality.
I know that we said that Kobe and Larry Bird would be a weird matchup in terms of like guarding each other.
Yeah.
I don't think either one could guard either one. I really don't.
Yeah.
But I would love to see the matchup. I just think it would be so fun because those guys take shit so personally.
Yeah.
They take it so personally. They'll be going up and down the court having fucking duels like Larry did with Dominique.
Yeah.
Like, it would be sick.
I definitely
would love to see that.
Yeah, I don't think... I mean, because Larry had a post game too, right? So it's like, I think that's going to be too much for Kobe because Larry's at least has 30, maybe 40 pounds on... Yeah, 3 inches, but also 30 to 40 pounds over Kobe at this point. Maybe if this was like 09 Kobe... He might have more of a chance to, like, especially like defensively. He's like, if this was maybe even like just 2 years from now, Kobe, I think it's a better battle because I think he's significantly better defensively. And by that point, I agree. Yeah, because that's at that point he got Gary Payton in his life, freaking teaching him the ways, and he's always talked about how
that's what I was thinking.
Gary Payton
Same
changed.
shit.
Yeah.
Lindsay, what do you got? How do you feel?
I definitely have the Lakers winning.
You do?
Yeah. Why?
Because me and Dario both have the Celtics, so I want to hear this.
What? Why do you have the Celtics? No, that confuses me because I just don't get it. I would think that it would be the Lakers because, like, I guess that the Celtics, like, have more of, like, a team basketball sense. Like, they have more people who can contribute. But I just don't, like, who's guarding Shaq?
See, that's how I feel about Kobe. I feel that way about Kobe.
Yeah, no, but also who's guarding Kobe, too? Like, who's guarding the two main guys on the Lakers to where it's...
Yeah. No,
I think Bill Walton and Robert Parrish and Kevin McHale have their hands full, but it's a great three-man rotation to throw at Shaq. Like I was saying, probably of all the historical teams we're going to see, I can't think of one off the top of my head that would have a better three-man lineup to go at Shaq. Like, in terms of overall skill and defensive prowess.
I mean,
like,
especially as we get
I guess, but isn't this the Kevin McHale that has, like, the kind of broken foot?
No, that's next year. That's a good thought, though.
Okay.
It's a good thought, though. This is a completely torture chamber. I'm realizing my powers, Kevin McHale.
Yeah, one of the best.
Realizing my superpowers. I can post up and annihilate motherfuckers.
Yeah, I'm still not convinced because, like, yeah, there's Bill Walton, but, like, Bill Walton is, like, old.
So, the
thing, sixth man of the year.
See, I kind of agree with you, Lindsay, with who's guarding Shaq and who's guarding Kobe. Russell definitely did bring up a good point with the three-man rotation for Shaq. I still got Shaq averaging over 30 against them. I just think in totality, the Lakers team as a whole can't beat this Boston team. And I still have it going 7 games, so it's not like it's like it's literally like a coin flip at that point. But
it could be the case of like, what was it? The shitty ass Cavs team where like Kyrie and LeBron literally dropped like 50 points each just to win the game. Like I could totally see like a Shaq and Kobe doing
NBA's
that.
Help. Yeah, but don't forget the NBA's help.
Well, yeah, but like you get like you get what I'm saying? Like it's totally possible for two extremely dominant
people.
Go
in 7. Yeah, I definitely got to go in 7. But so how long would you say out of 24 seconds in the shot clock? How long does it take for Shaq to score a bucket?
Oh,
like from the moment that you get the ball to the moment that he gets the ball and puts it in, how long do you say? Just get it doesn't matter.
Is this like a fast break opportunity or a half court set?
No. This is a straight up. We getting the ball, walking it up the court.
Okay, so half court set. Okay.
This is a hilarious question.
Yeah.
21. I say you get down to like 10 to 12 seconds left, depending on how long it takes you to walk it up and get him in position. Yeah.
But I'm saying, like, from the moment he gets the ball and then he does the move and then has
like 3-4 seconds tops.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I think so too.
We got about 20-second possession. I got the Celtics scoring within 10 seconds each time. To get to the Lakers.
I agree.
With the ball movement, the way that they're moving the ball, they're getting easy buckets pretty quickly and pretty easily. Yeah. And especially, this is a team that is not the greatest three-point shooter, but I personally think if Larry Bird shot more threes, he probably is going to make a decent amount of them. So, and I think with the Lakers probably bringing that more three-point shooting aspect, Bird is going to make Bird better, right? And then you also have maybe they start doing that ball movement, and now you're getting a freaking 2014 Spurs because they're starting to open that up a little bit more because they definitely have the coaching, they definitely have the players to think like that, right? Yep. Like and adjust 100%. In a series.
I think the only way this goes 7 is if the Lakers get hot from 3, which could happen. They're they're definitely going to be taking more 3-pointers than anything this fucking Celtics team has ever seen.
Yeah.
And if they do force double teams with Shaq and Kobe, we've said it, all hypotheticals. Each hypothetical thing we talked about, that is the key to this triangle offense, is being able to draw 2 and getting it to the open shooters. And that's the only way. If Derek Fisher comes out and Robert Horry and these guys, like if 3 guys in their starting lineup averaged less than like 20 points a game, it could be even less than 6 games. Like they need the others bad.
Oh yeah, the Lakers, and that's the part. That's the Lakers dynasty as a whole. Like it was Kobe and Shaq that brought them to that level, but they always needed those others to. Like Shaq always says, he always needed the others to win his championships. I definitely think because Jordan just averaged 43 on them in 3 games in this same year, right?
Yep.
Kobe's at least averaging like 38.
That's what I said. That's what I'm saying. I had him at 35.
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine, especially if I'm right about the Shaq situation and he's getting bottled up a little bit. There's no fucking way Kobe's not going to give him the "I got this" like he did in the 2000 finals. Like, there's no way he's not going to do that and proceed to measure people.
I definitely,
it's gonna happen.
I definitely could see it. That's why I think this would be one of the greatest series of all time, though. Like it'd be a lot of fun. I feel like
2 completely contrasting styles. Yeah, in terms of offense, 2 completely.
It's literally very similar to like when we would talk about like Phil and Pop going against each other. Because like towards the end of the 2000s rather than the beginning, because Pop's style was completely different in the beginning.
I have no feel for how K.C. Jones was as an actual coach. He was a great player with the Celtics for a long time, and he coached a lot of these legendary Celtics teams of the late 80s here. Mm-hmm. But
think he was just like a beneficiary of great talent? I
don't know.
I feel like that's a system though. Like they didn't just make that system up. I mean, like the players didn't just make that up. It had to be.
You're right.
That's coaching too. You got to give the coaches some credit,
That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not trying to shit on him as a coach, but it's just astounding to me that nobody talks about him. People talk about Pat Riley from this era. He was going against K.C. Jones for the most part.
Yeah, but think about it. Pat Riley went to 8 or 9 finals. Like, that's just that. Like, and then you won 4 or 5 of them. I can't remember how many he won with Magic. Did he win all of them with Magic?
Look, they went to 5 straight finals here.
4 straight.
Or 4 straight, excuse me. 4. I'm bad at counting. Fucking... No, it's just surprising that nobody talks about K.C. Jones ever.
Yeah.
In today's society, as a legendary coach.
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be the like. Honestly, how is it not like? How many people are gonna talk about Eric Spoelstra like in the next 20 years? Do you know what I mean?
I think LeBron will. I think there will be people that will talk about him. I don't hear Larry talk about KC ever.
Yeah.
But I don't hear Larry ever, so.
I don't know, like, I mean, maybe we'll hear LeBron talk about Spoelstra. I feel like he's never really made comments about him, though. Since, like.
Yeah, well, his cement is still wet. And by the time we put this out, LeBron will be the all-time leading scorer.
Yeah, facts.
And,
shout out to you, boy.
To that motherfucker.
Shout out to you, boy.
But that is going to do it for this season. We have the Celtics holding their own for their era.
Yeah.
And finally beating this Laker team. Because I think this is the first team we've had that's beaten this Laker team.
Yeah.
So I think it's going to be a short list.
I mean, it makes sense because I really do have them as the second greatest team of all time. So, like, I think that was for a reason.
And it would be this team. I'm looking forward to more of these all-time legendary battles, like what we have coming up when we bring this Laker team into the early 90s.
Yeah, I'm curious to see how many times we've had teams winning against this 86 Celtics teams. I don't think there's that many.
It's a pretty short list.
Yeah.
But we also don't usually do this season. We usually do the season
87
after previously. Yeah. But this is why I wanted to do this season. Because I was obsessed with this battle when I was doing my notes. Obsessed. Because I just thought this would be a heavyweight fight. And it definitely was.
Definitely is, yeah. So you have it going 6, right?
Yeah, I have it going 6.
And Lindsay, you had it going, what was it, 6? With 7 with the Lakers?
Right?
Yeah.
It's polarizing.
Yeah. Polarizing. This series in general.
Yeah, I'm sure Bill Simmons will hate me for not betting on the greatest team ever.
Man, Bill Simmons still fuck you, man. What we doing?
One of my favorite mean tweets that I ever saw was when he did one, and it was like he literally looks like a penis with like sapphires for eyes or something like that. Like it was just the most outlandish shit, but it was like the best compliment on his eyes at the same time.
We'll see you in the next episode on that note. Hey guys, if you like what you heard, be sure to check out our YouTube channel. Just type in Apex Greatness on YouTube to see everything we put out this year. From legacy breakdowns to current NBA and NFL content. We have over 150 videos to binge if you're that type of person, or just to listen to in your spare time. We have about 2 to 5 hours of new content every week. Check us out. Later.